Good evening. My name is Joseph Sippets for the St. Joseph County Public Library. It's time for another Saturday Night Stories. Tonight I'm going to be assisted by my humble children, Lily and Vince, and we're going to be reading a radio script from a radio show called Vic and Sade. Here's a book of the scripts. Vic and Sade was a 10-minute show, Monday through Friday, midday, at a time it was surrounded by all sorts of sad things, but this was just this nice little bright little bit of sunshine. You have three main characters. You have Vic Gook, his wife Sadie Gook, and you also have their child, their adopted child, Rush.
Yes.
Rush.
Rush.
So, yes, and you pretty much, through their conversation, the whole show is basically their conversations. And through their conversations, you get to know everybody in their small town in rural Illinois. So we're going to read one of the episodes. It's called Rush's First Day at High School. Take it, Maestro.
It's a few minutes past 12 o'clock as our scene opens now, and here in the kitchen of the small house half up in the next block, we find the noonday meal in progress, with all members of the family present. Yesterday, you'll remember, young Rush Gook embarked on his high school career. He found that opening day consisted of only one short session during which the students straightened out the kinks in their schedules, met with their teachers, and were told what textbooks to purchase. Today, however, school began in earnest, and no one is more earnest about it than young Rush himself. He's giving his parents a few highlights this very moment. Listen. By gosh, there's as much difference between high school and grade school as there is between night and day. In grade school, when you move into a new room, they assign you a seat and you sit there day after day and week after week and month after month until the end of the semester. You sit there minute after minute and hour after hour too, except for recess. In high school, by George, you have 7 different rooms and 7 different seats. And every room has a different bunch of kids.
You have 7 different teachers too, don't you?
Yeah, 7 different teachers. Feature that. And the study hall teachers changed a lot too, so it makes more than 7 over the course of the week. I never realized.
Will you pass the beans, please?
Huh?
Will you pass the beans, please?
Oh, sorry, I thought you asked a question about school.
No, I just asked a question about the beans.
Hand me your plate, I'll give you some.
I never realized what a change high school would be from Edwards. Of course, I knew everything would be different, but I never paused to reflect how. What'd you say, Hugo?
Nothing.
He waved.
I was just waving at your mother, indicating that she had put sufficient beans on my plate. I didn't want to cut into your flow of remarks.
Oh. Well, I started to say I knew everything in high school would be different, but I didn't pause to reflect how much different. In Edwards, we'd slide down our desk at 9 o'clock, sing a song or two, go to the blackboard and work out our arithmetic problems, listen to the other class recite, go out to recess, come back in again, have geography, sort of do things lazy and comfortable, you know. But in high school, you dashed into whatever classroom you do at, chew the rag a minute, the bell rings, you shut up, you recite, and listen to the teacher for 40 minutes or so. The bell rings again, you bounce out of there like a fire engine and go whipping down the corridor to whatever your next classroom is. Oh, it's the life.
You like it, huh?
I sure do, kiddo. Mom, you just ought to come around those halls someday between classes. You never saw so many people sloshing back and forth in your life. Teachers and students and janitors and librarians and office girls and I don't know who all. Looks like thousands of them. And in 3 minutes, as quick as the bell rings, there's not a soul in sight. The whole place is as empty as it had been cleaned up by magic.
My.
Oh, I want to tell you.
Spare me a slab of bread, will you, Sade?
Oh, Vic, say please pass the bread. You said spear me the bread, like the other night at Ruthie's in front of that cousin from Colfax, and I could have slunk through the floor.
That cousin from Colfax looked like a hayseed to me. I sized him up as...
And hey, I got gymnasium class fourth hour, and the guys... Oh, excuse me for buttoning there.
Oh, perfectly okay.
I got all this stuff on my mind, see, and I can't hardly wait to let you and Mom in on all of it.
Kick up the bread up the trolley before you start in.
Vic, please don't. You get in the habit of saying things like that, and then they bust out in front of company.
Well, nobody bounced the bread off the bankboard.
Here you are, Gov. Mom, I started telling you about my 4th hour gym class. I'm in physical geography 3rd hour under Miss Shade, and you know what the guys do? They got their 4th hour gym?
What do they do?
They get half undressed during 3rd hour so they can scoot down as soon as the bell rings and be in their gym suits ahead of everybody else. I noticed the kid this morning. He's a sophomore that graduated from Emerson School last year. By gosh, he took off his socks, put them in his pocket, put his shoes back on, and left them untied, put his necktie in his pocket, and unbuttoned his shirt. Then he got clear on the edge of his seat so when the bell rang, he could get a flying start. When it did ring, you'd have thought a firecracker had gone off under him.
Do the teachers put up with such didodes in high school?
Teacher couldn't see him. In the first place, he sits in the back seat. In the second place, he ducked behind the guy in front of him.
Don't sound like a very smart thing for big boys to be doing.
Oh, it's a case of dog eat dog in high school, Mom. It's really the life.
How about your subjects? Don't they get any attention?
Oh, plenty of it. By the way, I haven't told you my complete schedule yet, have I?
You said you were taking algebra and Latin and English and...
Let me describe the whole works to you.
All right.
Well, when I get to school a little before 9 in the morning, I go to my locker, hang up my hat, and grab whatever books I want. Then I loaf around the halls till first bell rings and chat with friends. When I hear the bell, I go to my algebra class, which is room 209 on the second floor. Teacher, Miss Laura Monroe. Algebra is my first hour class. When the bell rings for second hour classes, I have 3 minutes to get to study hall, which is room 215. We got 3 study halls altogether, room 215, 115, and 205. Third hour, I have physical geography under Miss Shade. Fourth hour, I have gym. On Fridays, we have assembly between third and fourth hours. That's when everybody in school gets together in the auditorium. Assembly between third and fourth hours is mighty convenient for me because I can take a shortcut down to the gymnasium. That's all of the morning. In the afternoon, there's 5th hour, 6th hour, and 7th hour, and 8th hour. 8th hour is for the kids that have to stay after school. 5th hour, I have study hall 205. 6th hour, I have English under Miss Tyson. And 7th hour, I have Latin under Miss Kinney. There's my day in a nutshell.
Seems to make quite a day.
Oh, it's the life, boy. I feel sorry for Harry Chatham and Wally Wilson and them guys that quit school to take jobs. They can have their old salary.
Maybe you'd like to go to high school for the rest of your life.
I'd just as soon.
Well, this'll all be stale in a wink or two, Hank.
Stale nothing. No, sir.
Could you spare another dab of beans, Sadie?
We got all these to finish up.
Spit me over a throat load, will you?
Vic, I wish you wouldn't. Suppose you're having dinner with Miss Brighton and come out with something like that.
I'd expect Miss Brighton to...
Mom, let me tell you something funny that... Oh, I beg your pardon, Gov. I'm always butting in.
Think of nothing of it. Tell us something funny.
It's about a kid in my physical geography class. That's what I got under Miss Shade third hour, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Well, Miss Shade is one of the very few teachers that make a lesson assignment before kids get their textbooks. She does that because we got so much to cover during the semester. Anyway, she made a lesson assignment yesterday, and we were supposed to have it studied for today. So she asked this kid, his name is Gerald Snow, a question about the first paragraph. He says he didn't know the answer. She said, "Didn't you read it?" He said, "Sure, he read it 3 times. "When did you read it 3 times?" said Miss Shade. "This semester, last semester, and the semester before that," he says. Don't you get the joke?
He didn't know his lesson?
No, here's the joke. The kid had read the lesson 3 times because he took the course 3 times. He'd flunked it twice. Get the angle?
Oh.
I read it this semester, last semester, and the semester before that.
A splotch of butter on my bread, perhaps, Miss Jackson.
It's right there by you, behind the big dish.
Mom, who do you think's in my Latin class?
Who?
Mildred Tisdale.
Ain't you in all your classes?
No, that's the only one, Latin.
You're both freshmen, ain't you?
Sure, but there's hundreds of freshmen. They got 4 beginning algebra classes alone. In my algebra class, there's not one single kid from Edward School.
Wow.
Chances are I won't even see much of Mildred. Around school, that is. She's taking different subjects than I am, and her classes are in different parts of the building. I never saw her at all this morning.
Thought you walked to school with her.
I did, and home too.
What you know about that?
Oh, it's an awful big place, that school. You just ought to see them pile in the auditorium for assembly.
I'd like to sometime.
We'll arrange for it some Friday.
How are all you sidekicks, Herney and Rooster? Are you in any classes with them?
I'm in every class with Rooster.
Oh, that makes it nice.
We got it fixed up with Superintendent Chin Bunny. Rooster and me wanted to be together, but the English class I was in was full, and it looked like Rooster would have to take the second hour under Miss Tate. That would, of course, thrown his whole schedule off, you see.
Uh-huh.
But I went to Mr. Chin Bunny about it. At first he said he didn't favor the idea of close friends being in the same class because they were apt to distract each other, but I talked him around.
Maybe he's right about close friends distracting each other.
Oh no, Rooster Davis and mine are just like that.
Might be what would cause the trouble.
We'll make out. You know, Rooster made a great sacrifice in order to be with me every class.
What'd he do?
Agreed to take Latin. Agnes, his big sister, took Latin when she was in high school, and she used to come home nights and bawl her head off, so Rooster's always been scared of it.
And he's taken it?
in order to be with me. Ain't that a friend for you?
Yeah, I guess it is.
To be right down frank with you, I don't believe Latin's half as tough as it cracked up to be. All I gotta do is learn Latin words for English words, and there's only about a 10 a day to learn. I know some already. Puella means girl, Puella means boy, Agricola means farmer, Patria means native country, Hick means this. Looks like a pipe to me.
I guess it's stringing the words together that's hard.
I don't see why it should be. I just feel like saying, here's my shoe in Latin. All I gotta know is Latin words for here's my shoe.
No, I don't know the first thing about it.
I'll give you the interesting angles as they come along, Mom.
Alright.
Yes, sir, boy, this high school dope sure is the life.
It's nice you like it so well.
Can't help but like it.
You say you were in some classes with your pal Heine?
Heine's in my gym class, my physical geometry class, and my 5th hour study hall, so us 3 friends will be together part of the day at least. And we ought to have some fun, too. In the boys' room between 2nd and 3rd hour, we decided to... Mom, is your kitchen clock right?
Yeah, I guess it is.
12:25?
Uh-huh.
Say, do you mind if I beat it?
Not time for school yet.
No, but I got lots of business to take care of. Mind if I leave the table?
I suppose so, if you must.
Oh, I got plenty of business. Have to switch lockers with the guy, reserve a book out at the library, notify the office about changes in my schedule, put in an application for the assembly monitor, and get my name on the voluntary usher list.
You won't be doing this every day.
Oh, no. Maybe just a day or two until I get organized.
Well, you'll be home this afternoon.
Probably not till 4:45.
I want groceries and things, you know.
Okay, I'll show up as early as I can. So long, Mom.
So long.
So long, Gov.
So long, sport.
See everybody later.
There goes a man that attends high school.
He attends high school just like you'd shot off a ton of dynamite.
I'd never seen a guy so full of a thing.
Didn't you notice how much dinner he ate?
No, couldn't have ate as much. He'd gone on all doing all that talking.
He didn't eat any dinner.
Not any?
Not a mouthful.
Not a bean.
Not a single bean.
Some guy.
And just the funniest thing,
You know what?
and the funniest thing is,
What?
he didn't even know he didn't eat any dinner.
Which concludes a brief interlude at the small house halfway up on the next block.